that the implied moral authority of their positions are telling you you're bad because of your skin color. And by the way, this is not a guess. Here's an example.
We have systemic racism in the United States of America. It exists today. And it's a white man's problem. White men are responsible for it, not black men.
And we have stood by to see mediocre, and they are the biggest flakes of snow to hit the earth.
American history is one in which white Americans, by and large, have been taught to have indifference or even contempt for black life. We have defined the country as a white nation where people of color are here on a guest pass.
1 in 3 Americans are racists. 1 in 3 Americans are terrified that this country by the year 2040 is not going to be majority white.
There has been no oppression. Don't let it confuse you that it is white men on this side of the aisle telling us, people of color on this side of the aisle, that y'all are the ones being oppressed.
Wake up, white man. What the fuck is wrong with you? And you're just eating it up.
40 is not going to be majority white.
There has been no oppression for the white man in this country. And don't let it escape you that it is white men on this side of the aisle telling us, people of color on this side of the aisle, that y'all are the ones being oppressed.
Wake up, white man. What the fuck is wrong with you? And you're just eating it up. Oh, that's nauseous. Look at what they're... I want to grow up in the country that my great-grandfather grew up in. That country doesn't exist anymore, asshole. So you can see why there probably are some Nick Fuentes viewers who are a little confused when they hear themselves attacked as racist. Racism is wrong. Of course, it is wrong. But they've grown up in a world where one of the leading CNN anchors is looking right into the camera. What the fuck is wrong with you, white people?
Oh, God, you're not supposed to be
You just want to be near other white people? You want to have a heritage? You want to have white children? How dare you? The CNN anchor's married to a white guy. Whatever. But it's a little hard to tell people that racism is wrong when you're committing it. And again, it's not just a few people. It was our entire ruling class was lecturing us about how whiteness is a disease. It's a plague. It's inherently sinful. It's the source of all evil. The President of the United States stood up and said racism is the problem, and it's only committed by whites. It's a white man problem. Is racism only committed by whites? No, and everyone knows that. Hating other people is a human problem, one that every person struggles with, hopefully struggles again, because it's wrong. It's always wrong. Anti-Semitism is wrong. It's every bit as wrong as what you just saw. Every bit is anti-black racism, anti-Malaysian racism. It doesn't matter. Hating people for how they were born is wrong. It's called a universal principle. This country is founded on universal principles. They apply to everyone equally. That's the promise of America. That is Western civilization. What is Western civilization? Governed by universal principles. Everyone can be saved. No one is damned by his nature. And hating any group, because that's true, hating any group is by definition immoral. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen. It happens all the time. Of course, because it's the default setting in the human heart. But we need to maybe not ban it. It's hard to ban attitude down that road. But say it's wrong.
Keep
Meal
tight.
prep
Check your
can
position.
feel honestly uninspiring. But now, my meal prep is I'm Brooke Hastings, food editor at Delish, and let me show you how this line of Samsung bespoke kitchen appliances makes my meal prep a total win. Let's see what ingredients I have in the fridge. With the bespoke refrigerator with AI Family Hub Plus, check the ingredients without even opening it. Looks like I have some tofu. Oh, let's see what it says. Tofu barbecue stir fried, 1 plate, so check this out. Let's get cooking. I love it is so realistic for my Sunday. And when it comes to the range, my recipe's right there for me on the AI screen. Just like having a sous chef right here. My meal prep is done. Make it a good next week. Add some more broccoli to my shopping list. 1 click, so that's what I call a glow up, and I got my Sunday back. Bye.
And by the way, you can tell exactly where this is going. It's going toward violence. Tribal warfare. That's the last thing you want. That's why this is a great country. That's why it's exceptional, because we haven't had that. And why haven't we had that? Because we have self-consciously and out loud said, these are universal principles that apply to every human being, because every human being was created by God in God's image. That's it right there. That's a Christian understanding of the human soul. There's been a lot of noise in the news recently, but it doesn't matter if you can't hear it. There's no shame in that. It happens to a lot of people every year, millions. You get deaf as you get older, especially if you shot without earplugs as a kid. But our friends at Audient can help you. Hearing loss is more widespread than most people realize. Over 460 million people worldwide live with disabling hearing loss. 80% of them don't wear hearing aids. And the reason is simple. They're super expensive, thousands of dollars, prescriptions, medical visits. So most people don't want to deal with it or they can't afford it.